All right, people. So this one, I went a little bit back, right? Because I just remember at the time there was a lot of chatter about Black Bear. You know what I mean? People saying how great it was, the performances, magnificent, all of this. So I was like, all right, I need to see the but it's one of those things, you know what I mean? Time just gets in the way and other things and but had a little bit of a moment. So I was like, you know what? Let me squeeze Black Bear in for this week, right? So it is written and directed by Lawrence Michael Levine. The film is produced by Levine as well as Jay Canana, Aubrey Plaza, Sophia Takal, um, Marina Grazik, Julie Christias, Richard J. Bosner, and Jonathan Blitzstein. It's executive produced by Andrew Chang Sang, John Hills, William G. Santor, and associate produced by Jess Udio. Music, we got Brian Scary and Julio Camasi, Robert Litzel on cinematography, Matthew L. Wise edited it, Henry Russell Bergstein, Allison Estrin, and Jen Gar were on casting. Production design is Tracy Disham. Set decoration Jennifer Durbin. Costume design is Alison Pierce. Hair, makeup Elizabeth Fox, Josie Rodriguez, and Kika Papinia Vasquez Tamali. And the cast. Well, Allison is played by Aubrey Plaza. Gabe is played by Christopher Abbott. Blair is played by Sarah Gadon. Um, Kaya is played by Paula Lazaro. Bacco is played by Grantham Coleman. Maud is played by Lindsay Burge. Chris is played by Lou Gonzalez. Simone is played by Shannon O'Neill. Mike is played by Alexander Kosh. Nora, Jennifer Kim. John is played by Kevin Barker. And there's also Hiesho Zheng, Rob Toboski, and Mary Borrell in the piece. Okay, so the gist of the film is this. At a remote lake house in the Adirondack, Ad, Adirondack Mountains. I can never pronounce that word, people. A couple entertains an out of town guest looking for inspiration in her filmmaking. The group quickly falls into a calculated game of desire, manipulation, and jealousy, unaware of how dangerously convoluted their lives will soon become in the filmmaker's pursuit of a work of art, which blurs the boundaries between autobiographical and invention. Hmm. I mean, I don't even know how true that is. I have no clue. It's uh it's a bizarre story, right? It's kind of in three parts, right? Because we start off and we've got um a girl sitting by the lake looking out, right? and that's Allison. You know what I mean? She's sitting, she's looking. Then we see her get up, go into a house, sit at the table, open up a pad, and think about what she wants to write. Right? Then we get part one. Um, what's part one called? It's something like um, the bear in the road. That's part one, right? And so this time we see Allison again, and she's arrived at this place, right? Arrived at this place, and we see this interaction with this guy, Gabe. You know, it's been a recommendation from a friend they both have called Michael. And, they're talking about, you know, why she's there. She's a filmmaker, what's going on, all of this kind of stuff. As we get to the house, pregnant lady's there, Blair, right? Gabe's wife, who hasn't mentioned. And you're watching it and you're like, okay. And to be honest, I've got to this point and it's all, the acting is all fine, right? But you are a bit like, I know exactly where this is going. You know what I mean? Like, I know exactly where this story is going. And I'm trying to figure out, why is it called Black Bear though? You know what I mean? That is the one. I'm just like, why is it called Black Bear? Okay. So the story is moving, and it basically does go the way you suspect it to go. No character is like, all these characters are shitty. They're all very shitty, and it all highlights, right, weird, different kind of personality traits. Right? That I mean, that's the big thing. You can watch this because I think after the fact, when you go all it's like everyone's describing this film as meta, which is fine. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's kind of like showing these toxic personalities, essentially. We could just say that. So this all escalates. Then you get part two, the bear behind the boathouse. And so it starts again, girl sitting by the lake, blah, blah, blah. But then we realize, oh, this is a film, right? So you're like, oh, right. Are they saying what we just watched is really a film and blah, 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 blah? No, not like in this new version. A lot of these roles are reversed and we have all of this other stuff going on. Again, though, not very likable characters, right? Because you could say that it's a look at what filmmaking can be, right? But then you've got everyone else very culpable in the situations that are occurring. So it's just like, okay, so yes, we've definitely heard about incidents on sets, and there's all rumors about certain directors and things like that, right? So you get that. But then it's the other people and why maybe they're not saying anything. Because I think I get people not saying things because they might be worried about a job and all of this kind of thing. But I kind of feel that you would get conversations, you know what I mean? Like, I can't work with this guy anymore. Like, this is the last time, or man, my friend told me this would be a great experience, but didn't tell me that this guy is a cunt, right? And like, you'd think there'd be something, but there's nothing in that regard. So it is an odd thing that you're watching, because they're saying, oh, it's meant to be this meta story, but I'm just like, okay, there's commentary, you could say, in one regard, but then nothing speaking on the other aspects of what you're watching, which I thought was odd. It's also described as a black comedy. I I did not see it as a comedy, right? There was these weird things in there. Because within the telling of the story, like a character's got food poisoning and keeps on saying she's got explosive diarrhea, which you just think, I don't know what this is doing for the story, right? It didn't really, because it's not like she had to leave set, or, you know what I mean? Like, she ruined the shots and had to like, it wasn't really doing anything for the story, you know? And also, right, it looked like the toilet was bang on the set. Now, just say it. If Shorty had explosive diarrhea, right, and it was as bad as she was saying, that's not going to be a pleasant room to be in. You know what I mean? This is always right by the set, yo, right by the set. So if you're trying to make this a part of the story, then it should kind of be a part of the story. You know what I mean? But it's not. And you've got, you know, it looked like a girl trying to flirt with another girl. Again, not really a part of the story. Like, all these things happening, like drinks getting spilled and all, but it doesn't really seem to do anything. So you're just like, why is this here? Because it's just adding time and just felt very pointless. Like, one, I feel, for again, I didn't find it funny, but there was one line which just kind of took me like this. I wasn't expecting it, and he was something along the lines of, "Ugh, cunt probably smells like spider webs," which I'm just like, "What the fuck? Like spider webs?" Like, yo, spider webs don't smell, as far as I'm aware. Maybe they do. I've never actually gone up and smelt a spider web, so maybe they do smell if you put your nose right up on them. But yeah, that line just was like, what? What just happened there? You know what I mean? But the rest of the film, yeah, I don't know. Right? This is the thing. Acting solid, well lit, right? The way it's kind of put together kind of works, right? And I mean the segments, right? There's the way it then just cuts and it's like part two and back and that is, I don't know. But the part one and the part two as segments put together well. You know what I mean? So like all of that works. You know what I mean? Solid acting, good performances, all of this. But there's just these parts of the story that I'm like, huh? Right? It's like something is alluded to, let's say. Right? There's certain things alluded to, and you're kind of like, okay, if that happened, firstly, everyone would know because everyone, like, you're thinking everyone's mic'd up. You know what I mean? I don't know, right? Now maybe they're doing sound slightly different. I don't know, maybe, but it is a little like no one's commenting on the thing that may have happened. When you kind of think like, and then this other thing goes down, and you're like, yo, if the thing happened earlier, then you're gonna know when you do that thing, right? And so these odd things, which I don't know, they just didn't make any sense to the story, right? I just, yeah, it was a little baffling. The bear thing, and especially in part two, the bear thing, because you're like, okay, but there should be other noises here, you know? Should be other noises. What are we doing? Now, here's the thing. I could be missing something completely. You know what I mean? I could be oblivious to this crazy message that's being told within the story. Maybe, maybe I am. Maybe I am. Right? I don't always seem to have the consensus reaction to a lot of these movies. You know what I mean? Like Pig. I didn't love it like everyone loved it. Right? There's a load of recent films which are, Ghostbusters Afterlife. There's a load of things which I'm just like, eh. So yeah, maybe this is just one of the most incrediblest things out there, and I'm just not seeing it. But yeah, I'm just not seeing it. Right? I don't know, people. I don't know. I would love someone to you know what I mean? Let me know maybe what I am not picking up, you know? But I will say, I feel Pig is a very good uh barometer, right? So if Pig is your joint, then I think you will like this. I think you will like Black Bear. If Pig isn't, then it might not work for you. You know, I think that's probably the best one because, like, maybe like the menu again. If you like though, I felt the menu's a lot stronger. You know, yeah, like because there's other films which you could go, oh yeah, it's probably similar to that, but I kind of feel some of those are stronger. So Pig is probably my best. Yeah, my best litmus for this one, right? So, yeah, I don't know, people. I hope that is helpful to you, right? It came out a little while back, so you can find Black Bear all over the jam, right? So if it sounds like you, if you missed it like I did, then yeah, boom, go check it out. You know what I mean? Black Bear.